This podcast is rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Some material may not be suitable for children.
Hey, you guys feeling amazing, Mr. Fox, today? What do you think?
Feeling fantastic.
That's good.
Yeah.
I forget how to do this. John was sick, of course.
I was sick. I was out. Now we like we're off our stride again.
Yeah. Just all the bumps in the road are
Well,
just...
when you mean, of course, but I'm always, come winter, I just get sick every other week.
It's not
or
winter
so,
yet. It's still summer, isn't it? It's like the week before Labor Day.
Fall. It's fall. I'm
still summer.
anticipating. This was a preemptive sickness. Just kind of looking forward to getting
just
sick in the winter.
preparing your immune system for being sick all the time.
That's right. Yeah. Just like, well, it's not winter yet, but I was just thinking of it and then it happened.
Nice.
But I'm okay now.
Sweet. Glad you're okay.
And who are you and who are we and what are we doing?
This is a podcast. I'm Denny. We're doing introductions now. We're not just assuming people have listened to this before.
I mean, might be new.
Could be.
Yeah.
Who's that? There's a third person there.
DC.
That's that guy.
He's pointing. It's good. Good job, John. This is a podcast. This week,
That's right.
Guys, we
Over
watched.
there.
Guess what we do? This is a bad episode to do this. We watch the best movies of all time, and this week we're not doing that. So nice.
That's right.
Way to point that out,
But
John.
this should be one of them.
Good work.
It really should be.
This is a IMDb. It's 7.9, so it's right there.
It's on the fringe.
Right there,
if you're listening,
it's on the fringe.
a few hundred upvotes could tip this over the edge there.
As it should.
As it should. This week is my turn to go first, guys.
Well,
No.
Denny.
Yeah. So this movie I've seen. I'd like to start like this just so you guys can know how weirdly obsessive I am about movies. I've seen this movie over 10 times.
Are you weirdly obsessive about movies? Oh, this is a surprise.
Yes,
and
it
a
is.
shock.
But how weirdly
Really?
obsessive I am about it seems to shock you guys realistically sometimes.
Not anymore. Not
No,
anymore.
no, it does.
No,
Whenever
no,
I say
really?
I watch a movie over 10 times, which I have with this movie,
Really?
TC usually goes, "What?"
No.
What?
Because he's just like, "How do you have the
Really?
time?
Why?
Why would you do that?" Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, right,
You watched this
exactly.
one over 10 times? Well,
Yes.
I mean, this one I could watch.
Did you watch
Forever.
it in
Forever.
the
I mean, this is-
backyard
yeah.
again?
No, not this
Yeah.
time.
Mm.
Oh, you didn't do a backyard
No, so
projection?
we did that recently. We did that less than a year ago. But this time we wanted the like the high definition. I don't know. Our
You don't want
TV is
your
better
neighbors-
than
You
the.
don't want your neighbors to complain of blurry projection?
No, I feel like for this movie, people peek through the freaking fences. They're like, "What is this fantastic
this?
sounding music?" So I love this movie. Seen it over 10 times. We'll watch it every year, probably for the rest of my life. It gets better every time I watch it. There's so much shit. I think the first time you watch it, it seems kind of slow compared to like other movies or children's movies or even like Wes Anderson movies. But I don't know, the more you watch it, the more details you can see and the more you can just enjoy watching like the slower paced animation and like just the sets and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Wes Anderson. I think you guys do too, right?
Yeah,
like without question,
definitely, yeah.
he's, some people don't like him for some reason. He's definitely got his own style.
Have you met someone who doesn't like Wes Anderson
Yes.
movies?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Who? Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to out
I
them.
mean, really?
Yes.
I mean, you just. I mean, how do you not like it? He's so whimsical and
Some people don't
How
like
do
the
you-
overly stylized thing. It's not realistic.
Really?
It's like
Oh.
weirdly paced. The characters are unrealistic. Like
really
whatever. There's a lot of reasons. It's strange.
I'm sorry
stuff.
for those people.
So
Though.
am I.
Yeah,
I would
true.
I would like
Me
to just
too.
extend some condolences to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
So I think this is my favorite one of his movies, without question. And I also think it has the best soundtrack out of any of his movies. And that's saying something because, that's one of the best parts of his movies is when he puts in like a music video montage or just some really old music that, isn't mainstream, but is mainstream enough, like Velvet Underground or the Rolling Stones, like not their hits, but some other stuff. This movie has like a Brian Wilson song and a Beach Boys song in it.
Yeah, some good ones.
The
Street
last
Fighting
song,
Man.
the last song in this movie, like, is just perfect.
Yeah, that is a good song. Yeah.
The sets are cool. There's nothing bad to say about this. There's literally nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, there really isn't.
It's like a perfect movie.
I think anybody can watch it too. Literally anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids really liked it too.
Right.
Like,
Nice.
we watched it
I
with
was
the
going to
kids
ask
and they really
because
liked
it
it.
seems like it might be slower than like other kids' movies.
No, they really liked it. I don't know if they really liked it, but they were engaged. I don't know if they thought it was. They were like
it's
saying
so
this
funny,
is the best thing
right?
ever.
It's so funny.
It's just very quirky and so many different things happen. I think that they found it engaging.
And I'm surprised too. Like we've talked about comedies and I don't know how many times you guys have seen this, but I usually, even really good comedies, if you watch it 4 or 5 times, you're not laughing because you already know, like for some reason it just gets old or whatever. But I'm laughing throughout this movie still. Like they're just, I don't know the way they do the humor. It's really like, I don't know, it sounds weird to say, but it's like subtle. It's not like subtle, but it's like quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it like sits with things. Like you sit on the expressions of the characters for a while. It just sits there. It doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't feel in your face. It does feel like a little indirect sort of. I don't know how to say it either.
It's hard to tell that it's like,
it's not, it doesn't feel like it's hitting you over the head with whatever it's doing sort of.
Like I burst out laughing this time when the son, he's like, you know why I can fit in that crate? And he's like, because I'm little. And he just like has a little bit of anger in his voice. It's so
my
good.
Favorite, Ash is my favorite character in this whole film.
Absolutely.
He's
Ash is so fucking
he's so
good.
funny.
Yeah, Jason Schwartzman in this is so good. But
and it just sounds like you can just picture him. Yeah, right.
It's awesome.
It's
not his voice work, but I mean the way they have the character, the way Ash looks is so awesome. He's. I mean, I like all the characters in the film, but by far Ash is so cool, and his dynamic with his father and with the cousin is my favorite thing about the film. Yeah, I think
I didn't have a bandit hat, so I had to make mine out of a sock. And then there's like a long pause, and he's waiting for him to say something. He's like, "You look good." He's like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, I know, but you're right. Yeah, because I'm little. Yeah. I know. It's good. It's awesome.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, I know. I love his dynamic with his father, where George is like. Where like the fox can't help but admire the athleticism of the cousin, but I still find it really touching that moment where he says, "I'm glad it was you."
Yep.
You know, I still can't. Each time I watch the film, I still find it touching.
It is. That's a good moment for sure. Yeah.
But
and the moment too towards the end with Mr. and Mrs. Fox, like by the waterfall, where they're kind of like breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, that's really effective.
But not. It was good.
But no, this is like the thing that they hit with this film of somebody being who they are, trying to fight who they are, still trying to be better, but also people still trying to work with who. That sort of dynamic is so like, I don't know, impressive to me. Like that he's trying to be better, but he still fucks up. But he's sorry.
Well, because he's still a fox, right? Like no matter what. Yeah.
But the way they deal with it, I think, is so beautifully done where it's still like, yeah, you fucked up. I shouldn't have married you. I still love you. It's like,
it is what it is. We got to get through this. Yeah, right. You know, normal stuff for people.
Even when they say like, we're just animals, you know. Wait. So we might have the kids come. I don't know
here we go.
Their impression.
Give me a second.
Alex, so we just gonna have to go with the kids' timetable here. Alex, would you like to talk to Denny, and Denny can ask you how you felt about the film Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Okay.
Hey, Alex, I heard you saw Fantastic Mr. Fox.
That's Denny.
No.
Okay.
You didn't see it.
Did you like Fantastic Mr. Fox? Talk to Denny.
Do you like Mr. Fox?
I did. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Hey,
what did you think?
No. You don't have to talk so loud, okay?
Why?
Shh, because the microphone is really sensitive.
That's a good question, though. Did you like it, Alex?
What? No.
What did you think?
Oh yeah, just like that. Yep, just like that.
I agree with your criticisms.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Why?
Shh,
Why?
Not so loud, okay?
Why not?
Because
why not?
That's
Who was your favorite character?
Baby Rubble.
Who was that?
Which one's that?
It's a baby Rubble.
Baby Rubble. Rubble is his favorite Paw Patrol character.
Oh, and back to the Paw Patrol.
Do you remember the Fantastic Mr. Fox movie, buddy?
I don't know. So
don't remember the Fox movie?
Now I can talk to the pirate.
Okay. Are you all done?
No.
Well, what do you want to do?
I just want to tell them something.
Well, what do you want to tell them? Tell them something.
Okay. Mr. The Texas Fox was a little bit scary.
Oh, it was.
Oh, was it Fantastic Mr. Fox
scary?
was a little scary?
Yeah.
Were the humans the scary
it was a little
ones?
Scary.
Yeah, but
The farmers.
Yeah, they're so nice. And the farmers said that fire.
I know.
When there was all fire in the town.
Yeah, and the firemen come to rescue.
Right, the firemen had to come to rescue him when they had the fire acorns, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing they were there.
Yeah, because a fire, it's fire trucks come to save the fire. So you can't be in the fire.
Come again?
What?
Hey, do you want to sing him a song or something before you go?
Okay.
Sing him a song?
Wait.
Okay, sing him a song.
Okay. Rabbit, 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 la na 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 na. That night I was gonna stay here. What that day? No. So,
Nice.
Well, all right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, that's two pistols.
What?
What is
Okay,
that?
wait. Yep. Time to go. Okay, go get Samantha.
Excuse
I
me?
want to tell you something.
Excuse me?
What?
I want you to tell you something.
Tell him one more thing. One more
One more thing, buddy. One more
Okay.
thing.
One more thing.
What do you got? Right.
Got it.
Just like that.
Agreed.
Okay,
100%.
Samantha's turn. All right, Samantha's turn, if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Okay.
She'd like to give Samantha would like to give her critique of the film. Okay, come here, Sam.
Make more
All right,
sense.
talk to Denny. Denny and TC can talk to you about the film. You tell them what you thought of it, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Samantha.
TC and there's Denny.
Hi.
Hey,
How you doing?
Good.
what'd you think of Fantastic Mr. Fox?
It was good.
What'd you like about
How come?
Most of the parts, but I hated one part.
it? What part was that?
Why did the rat die?
That was a little sad, huh?
He wasn't
Yeah.
a good guy. He wasn't a good rat, you know?
He was being mean to the other animals.
Yeah, but still, it's sad to see people die.
Oh, that's for sure.
That's true.
That is true. Even if it's a movie.
But you like the rest of it?
Yeah.
Nice. What was your
Nice.
favorite part?
The supermarket.
That was a good part.
Yeah.
I liked that part too. Yeah, that's a
A
good
lot
part.
of free food.
Yeah.
Couldn't complain about that. Well, nice. You got
What
any
else?
other opinions about it?
There should have been a snow leopard.
Ooh.
That's a
snow
good idea.
leopards are good.
Bye.
You
All
wanna
right.
sing
Okay,
the song?
bye.
Thank you.
Good talking to you.
Okay.
See ya.
Good job. All right. All right. So there's the Stricker kids' opinions. of the
Nice.
film.
Alrighty. Well, that
That
sums
snow
it up.
leopard thing. That's a good idea, you know?
Well, you can
Yeah. I
always-
think she was onto
you know,
something there.
You can always use a snow leopard. I
Yeah.
mean, come
Right?
on.
Seriously.
I
Nice.
liked
Thanks,
it when the
guys.
rat died. Why'd you
I
do
mean,
it?
that guy was a jerk. The guy
Yeah.
was a piece of shit, right?
Yeah, I like
mean,
the
it was funny
redemption. I
listening to
love the
him.
whole scene. Like, he's just another rat in a container behind a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. That's
just-
great. Yeah.
I also love it how this movie just like, instead of trying to make it look realistic or good or whatever, it totally like owns some of the weird effects it has.
Yeah.
Like, especially in that scene, like probably the weirdest effect when they scoop the cider off. You're
Right.
like, what is this, jelly?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
doesn't look like liquid,
Yeah.
but they're just like, whatever, dude. It's stop motion.
It's almost like it's like when you see a bunch of actors having fun in the film. It's like that, but instead it's like it
Somehow
looks like
magically
they're just
the
they're just
slowest
having
form
a
of
good time.
filmmaking is happening.
Right, but there still looks like whatever they're having just a good time. They're just having fun. So that seems to be what it conveys. You know, there's like
There's
do
a good
that.
reason for that.
Oh, what?
I want to sing a song.
Oh, Samantha's decided she'd like to sing a song.
Oh, okay.
Here,
I'm just gonna do a little melody.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right. A little melody.
All right,
Just a little
nice little
melody.
melody.
there you go.
Na, 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 na.
Okay.
Well, that'll be ingrained forever.
Yes.
It's the new intro
Anyway.
song. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We should have Sean fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could put that. Oh, she'd love that. Have him like work that into the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it could work. I could.
It
I
could.
Anyway.
Little
I can hear it.
auto-tune.
I'm already got it in my head. I can hear it, man.
Yeah.
It's a fucking hit.
All right.
What were we saying?
know.
The
We
fake
were
effects.
talking about how they just there's like this joy or like this like just looks like they're having fun.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like conveyed.
And there is a reason for that.
Yeah.
The way they recorded this movie was there's a behind the scenes. It's only 40 minutes long, and you guys should totally watch it if you're fans.
Oh.
They show a lot of the actors, they acted together in rooms. They didn't go to, with one exception, Meryl Streep went to a sound booth.
Kind of sounded like that.
Yeah.
Kind of sounded like
Meryl
that.
Streep is in a sound booth by herself because I think she had a busier schedule at the time.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and she was also
Meryl
brought
Streep.
in late because Kate Blanchett was Mrs. Fox for a while, but then she
Oh.
dropped out for unknown reasons. So like,
Oh, really? That's weird.
yeah, she was a late
Meryl
addition.
Streep was great. I mean, she was awesome.
great.
But
I'm not a huge fan of her. This is the best thing she's ever done,
oh yeah.
in my
I
opinion.
didn't even
liked
notice
her.
it was her. So,
Well, I loved her in Adaptation, which is another film
Oh,
we maybe
yeah.
should watch at
That's
some
a really
point.
good one.
She's
She's just, I don't know. She seems overrated. She always seems to play herself. In this one,
yeah.
I don't think of her as Meryl Streep. You know,
No,
I didn't
she's
know.
great.
If you hadn't told
she's
me,
great
I'd
as her
have never
character.
known.
Yeah.
that's good. But I know it's George Clooney, and that doesn't bother me at all. It adds to it for some reason.
Because it fits his. This is his. It seems like
It
this
was
is kind of
perfect.
his
He was
style.
great.
I don't know.
He was great.
Yeah.
There's no
He
bad
was
voice
great.
actor. Even like Owen Wilson as the coach, just like little small parts like that. It's just fun to hear
there's
them
all
and be
of these. There's all of these little scenes that are so awesome just by themselves, like
Whack
the Whack
Bat.
Bat.
Classic.
Whack
Yeah,
Bat
that was awesome.
Whack Bat is
that
awesome.
scene.
I love the scene where they're like renovating the treehouse, and they're just going. It doesn't need to be there in the movie.
It has
But
to.
It's just
that's like the
well,
part.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you could take it out and you wouldn't know it was gone.
Yeah.
But it's just these little sections that are so like amazing just by themselves. And the Whack-Bat scene is another scene like that where I just love Owen Wilson explaining Whack-Bat.
Yeah.
And that's like, I love that analogy. Anytime something's complicated too, I like say it's Whack-Bat.
Yeah. I could go on.
Yeah, go on, man. This is
Yeah,
fun.
no, go
Just
ahead.
go if you like. Talk
Yeah,
about it.
whenever I think of Wes Anderson, it's this music. It's the music whenever they get into trouble in this movie.
Yeah.
TC, what instrument is that? Or John, if you
I
know.
don't
Is
remember
it
off
like
the top of my head
banjo,
right now.
Jew's harp?
It
or...
could be. It sounds like a tiny guitar or something.
Yeah.
Very fastly played. But so Meryl Streep was in the studio. Everyone else kind of acted it in spaces. So they have a lot of behind the scenes footage of George Clooney and Bill Murray and all these other actors. Like they even had a shot of when they were on a motorcycle. The guy who plays the possum was on a motorcycle that wasn't moving with George Clooney outside, and there's just one single boom mic above them, and they're pretending to bounce on the motorcycle and acting.
That's kind of cool.
And that's the audio, and that's true throughout.
I love it.
It works
I just
great.
love it.
I think
love
that's
it, like,
awesome. That's such a cool
where'd you
thing
come
to
from?
like
I'm
think
losing my
about the
mind.
auditory.
Like, yeah,
You know,
right.
And there's the reason, like part of the reason this is so good is because it seems so realistic, and part of that is because it's real people interacting. Like in animated movies, you don't have people
Right.
talking over each other, and that happens a lot in this movie. And it's because they're actually acting against each other as opposed to in like
So
yeah.
a
No,
sound
you
booth.
could tell. You could tell they're in the same room.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they added like all the sound effects too were taken from that single mic. So like the scene where he's like contact and like hits the thing and it makes a noise. That was all done. Like they have the mic there and they have little props and they're doing the prop noises
in the room.
in the room.
Oh,
Whenever
that's really cool.
They recorded
That's cool.
once, like towards the beginning.
Smart.
Apparently it helped
Well,
influence
it
the way
adds
they were
like
going to
the
record
whole,
it.
the like whimsy of the whole thing, I guess. You
Yeah.
know, like it just seems like this is all just kind of silly and fun, and
But it makes
so,
it seem more real too, right?
yeah, yeah.
Just a better way to do it. In the room, come on.
Totally.
Always better.
No, it is. It means that you're actually getting shit done. It's
Right.
like when the musicians record in the room.
Yeah, it's
We've
not an
seen it.
afterthought.
Right,
Like
right,
in the
right.
studio
That's
seems like
true.
an afterthought, right? It's like CG in a room seems like you're too lazy to find a spot to do it, too lazy to
or
set
you're
it up
doing 400 takes and you're, you know what I mean?
because you
Like,
don't know what
it's
you're
not the same.
doing. You're trying to make it
Right.
work while
Yeah.
everyone's on set.
So
But,
in this instance, they can do 3 takes, but they're still all in the same room, so they're getting
Yeah.
it done, and it's
Yeah.
great. And you just cut it together, and you got
Yeah.
fucking Pink Floyd solo, man. Anyway,
So one of the audio recordings that influenced the way they were going to do it earlier on was that they picked up a boat in the background going through, and it quote ruined the take, but they just incorporated that into the movie. They put a boat
nice.
into the animation.
yeah.
And they did that multiple times.
And there's a boat.
Cars in the
Yeah.
background they would just put in the movie, things like that, and they would always put themselves in places that kind of were replications of where
What
they
they were
were in
seeing.
the
I
set.
think
Like they
this
were
is the
outside,
same.
they were
Very
outside,
cool.
they were
This
inside, and they were
idea that
inside.
they were just rolling
Right,
with whatever
right, right.
happened and having a good time. I mean, just like,
No,
all right, we'll put
it
that
sounds pretty planned, though, too, right? I mean,
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
so they recorded all the voices first.
in. Okay.
So they did
Yeah, I would
that
imagine.
first.
And then they cut together
then
the story,
everything,
right?
right.
And then,
And then
they
they
figured
did,
out what it was, and then they
storyboards
animated
to
it. Makes
animatics.
sense.
Like they did storyboards during the filming, but then they edited animatics, which are just like edited storyboards that are edited like shot for shot how you want the movie to set up, and they edited that to the voices, and then they animated over that with the voices. Plus, they ended up having a shot, like a frame for frame storyboard for the movie. They storyboarded every single frame of this movie, which was the final product was 56,000 shots. 56,000 shots, and that's the final product. So they probably had more than that.
Damn.
I was just looking on Wikipedia. I just discovered something I didn't know. Did you know Jarvis Cocker is the founder and the lyricist of the band Pulp?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wait, who is he in this movie?
What?
Who is Jarvis Cocker?
He's Petey.
Oh, he is?
He's
Really?
Petey.
Oh, that I didn't know.
No shit.
Yeah.
You wrote a bad song, PT.
Another beautiful little like segment all by itself. You wrote a bad song, PT.
That's one of my favorite parts of the whole.
I think of that every time I do my own.
That's a really good song. I love that song.
I thought that was a great song.
Yeah, I'm slapping my knee when they're singing that.
And it's so good. Yeah, and they're just like riffing off of it. It's
I had
awesome.
no idea he is Pulp. I had no idea. Anyway,
that's an interesting tidbit. Good little factoid there, Johnny.
Interruption, Denny.
Yeah. So I got a lot of trivia on this movie, which is good.
Okay, good.
At least it's good for me.
Good for you. I
like it how this movie is violent too. I think as an adult, there's a weight in the violence that is, it makes the dramatic moments where they're like appreciating their lives as animals really hit. You know what I mean? There's something about this, like movies try to bring in the weight of death and like the importance of living and the appreciating life and all that stuff. Doesn't usually work, but this one is an animated movie, stop motion. And it does it somehow. Like the violence is quick and it has weight.
It's brutal. Yeah.
And they're afraid of it. And
it's
they're
very
animals,
human.
so it's coming to them faster. So they're like even more aware of death than humans are.
And it's like part of the theme too. That's where they're at, sort of.
Yeah.
You know, even like the way they eat or whatever. They just like sort of like show this idea that they're still animals. They're like.
I just like the way that they dig.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I mean, it's just so funny.
What does Chris Alverson say when he's digging fast? He's like, I'm digging.
I mean, it's just, that was funny stuff every time they dug.
Yeah, what do you do? Just put your hands above your head and just move them back and forth.
That's awesome.
They did all that audio stuff in person too. There's behind the scenes footage of them like digging and then moving around. The scene where he like eats his toast, where George Clooney eats his toast like a fox in the beginning. He has a piece of toast and he acts against the toast.
That's
he was actually doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. How else are you going to do it?
It's true, but no one ever does it like this. You add a sound effect in later. You get the voice actor. The actor's like, oh, I'm too fancy to like eat the toast.
Yeah, right. You're not going to put you're not going to put your A-list actor in with some toast, right?
Yeah. Well, and let's be honest, it's hard to localize a movie like that because you can't re-record that. You
the way Wes Anderson does this stuff, it's like it's him and his buddies sort of like doing this stuff. Like they're having a good time.
People respect the shit out of him.
Yeah, but also it seems like he's always with the same kind of crew. A lot of people, like, so they've done this before. They're just hanging out, kind of like it's not.
This one's a bit different because. It's a little bit different because there's no actual shoot.
Making things up, you know more about the background.
So I think we talked about that during the Grand Budapest Hotel, which is the only other Wes Anderson movie we've done. That true?
I don't know.
That is true.
I think that's true, which is stupid because his movies are awesome. How the Royal Tenenbaums isn't in the top 250 blows my fucking mind. And this one.
Oh.
I've never seen that one.
I almost want to watch that again now. Oh, yeah, you've never seen the Royal Tenenbaums?
No.
That one
I've seen that one at least 10 times.
That one is so good.
Yeah.
That one's my second favorite one of his.
I've not seen that. I've not seen Bottle Rocket.
Oh, you've got to see.
Rushmore, I wasn't a huge fan of. I'm sorry.
What?
You'll like the Royal Tenenbaums more than Rushmore, I think.
Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums was when he was full Wes Anderson mode.
Yeah.
I haven't seen French Dispatch.
What about the other one where he's the Jaguar Shark one? Which one's that?
Oh, Steve Zissou?
Yeah, Steve Zissou. Have you seen that one?
That's a good one.
I like that one. You didn't see
Did you watch
the
Darjeeling Limited?
No, was that him?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not a fan,
wow, you got a lot of movies to watch.
And then the French Dispatch was his newest one.
Movies to watch.
His
Those are
next
some of my
project
favorite
is about
movies.
an astronomy convention called Asteroid City.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds like a documentary more than a movie.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, Margaret Robbie, Bryan Cranston, Margot.
Margot.
John knows.
Scarlett
John knows
Johansson.
famous people.
Yeah, right.
He's
I don't
not
know
dating
anything.
Oh
himself.
yeah, 2022. Asteroid City.
Anyway, interesting.
Comedy,
Looks interesting.
romance. Expected 2022 post production. So they're still in it.
But it's coming out this year?
Hey.
Yeah. So it says.
That's awesome. That's weird because French Dispatch just came out.
Desert Town in the 1950s. So it's a period piece too. Anyway, sorry.
Interesting.
I keep interrupting you, Denny. You're being nice.
That's
about
okay.
It.
There's nothing that can put me down. This movie is so damn good. It puts me in such a good mood. Seriously, it's like the most upbeat movie that I like.
I think that's exactly something that needs to be said because I agree. It just put me, I had a shit day and it put me in the best mood after. It was like you totally disengaged from anything in the world. And it was just such a nice movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And yet it's kind of violent and harsh a little bit.
But it's
so
just
that's what's
real.
So cool.
It's just
I know,
real.
Right? But
You know,
that's
it's
what's cool
awesome.
about it. It doesn't feel fake either. It doesn't feel fluffy.
No, because the whole climax of the movie is like they're with their closest friends and family and they're just like having a meal.
And that's all you
the best
really
thing you
need.
could have.
And it's great.
Right.
It's this age-old story that we all love to see over and over again.
That's right.
But it's nice because it connects like, you know, the animals to humans and how we're kind of like animals and how we're, you know, sometimes unable to be out of our own way. And, you know, then other people got to help pick up the pieces. I mean, these are all things that happen every day in regular human life. So,
yeah, I mean,
I just love
this might get cut out, but we were
it,
talking about how we're all in different kinds of therapy before this. Like,
I love
we got
therapy.
issues, man.
Yeah, you know,
We gotta fix
It's
them.
okay. It's okay to normalize that. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's not a
Remove
bad
the
thing.
stigma.
Yeah, it's really okay.
So maybe we just relate more
this,
to it because we have those
this
animalistic
movie
issues.
is something that you can watch if you're not feeling great and you have a good day after because it's just so easy to like. You know, it's just easy to like.
It is that's what's amazing about it is just it is a very, very positive film. Like it is a very good feeling film. It really
is. It really is. Plus, the acting is so good because they're really good actors. So they like read the script really well. They have their own little quirks. I mean, it's just, I can't say enough good things about this movie. I would watch this one again and again and again for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen it?
I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 now.
That's pretty good for you.
Yeah.
That's like,
because I remember when
Johnny
it came
Darko
out,
levels.
like people couldn't stop talking about it too. So you'd like see it and then you'd be able to watch, like it's one of those things you can watch with friends too, right? So you'd watch it with someone else and now we're doing it for this. And, I think it's a great movie to just keep rewatching because it doesn't get old either. I mean, you find some new little nugget in there every single time that you didn't hear the last time or something, you know?
Yeah. And it's not a fluke because, like, going into Isle of Dogs, I was like, well, it's Wes Anderson. It's all these famous people. It's stop motion again. It's got animals in it that can talk, kind of. So I expected it to be at least close, but this movie is special because that movie doesn't come close.
No, it doesn't. Which I was really disappointed in Isle of Dogs.
Yep,
I didn't hate it or anything, but it just did not have the magic that this one does.
Yeah.
No, there's something about this story in general that's just
And the colors. I mean, last thing I'll say is I love the orange color palette. Like there's almost no other colors besides orange and brown. It's like a autumn leaf or something like that. This entire
that's a good leaf. That's right. That's a good
the best
color.
kind of leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one. So there's one shade of blue in this entire movie, and it's Christopherson when he arrives because he's out of place, and there's no green whatsoever.
That's just all like fall colors, kind of.
I didn't notice that, but now that you mention it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool to remove a color and like still get away with it. And nobody notices. You know,
it's like looking at the shots, but like behind the scenes, all of the characters have just slightly different shades of almost the exact same color. And I'm colorblind, so like I'm not the best judge of that, but you usually see more contrast on anywhere in the movie.
Well, good to know.
So what else do you guys have? I think I've exhausted my praising.
The other scene I love, which has not a lot, there's not very much. I love the wolf scene is one of my favorite sort of images from the film. The awkward, the way that wolf puts his paw up in the air in this really strange way. Like it has an elbow that the wolf doesn't have.
Explain it to me, because I feel like CC
I have no explanation. It's more this acknowledgement of the wild animal part.
I think it's just an acknowledgement of like, we're all similar. Doesn't matter if you're a wolf that you never see or like, an animal in the chicken coop.
So was the wolf not attacking them because the fox was there? Because the possum was afraid of.
No, he wasn't attacking them because they knew that they were acknowledging their existence.
It was like some solidarity there. It's just like, we're animals.
I think that's what it was. Exactly. Solidarity.
Yeah.
Right. Why couldn't he speak English?
This is a wolf. He's
mute.
Too wild.
He's mute. It's obvious.
He's
too
more
wild.
wild.
Yeah.
I honestly do not.
I mean, he
know,
knows he owns the forest, right? So he doesn't give a fuck.
They're like appreciating it as if it's like nature, even though they're animals. They're like seeing the wolf as something really wild.
Yeah. But because he's actually in the wild, and they're like in the city.
Right.
In the
so
sense,
they're like
because
more
they're robbing
civilized
farmers and shit.
animals.
And it's like,
so I just sort of like that. I don't know why. I mean, I do have book corner, by the way, but I have nothing to say.
I was hoping for that.
I do. I just really like the way that like the possum is like afraid of everything, and the wolf is one of them, and like they keep bringing up the wolf, and like that part where he goes, "Could you please just stop bringing up the wolf?" Like I don't want. Why do you keep talking about the wolf? Because it's just it's just one of those mythical creatures. Yeah. So I just thought the wolf was very much like a part of like the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, let's go to book corner, I guess.
Well, so book corner does. So actually, I read like as I get the kids to sleep, we read different books, and so I read Fantastic Mr. Fox to them. The book is just about there's a fox and there's the three bad guys, and that's about it. Yeah. I mean, they just sort of like give the bad guys a hard time.
So according to what I saw, so like the intro introducing the three farmers was Wes Anderson adding that, and then the book ends when they're having the dinner underground, right? It's like right before the apple juice flood was when the book ends, and then everything after that was also written by Wes Anderson.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know that. I didn't realize he wrote that ending part. That's cool.
Yeah, and the beginning. So he wrote the first
he wrote
and
some
last
extra
third.
shit. So did he just buy the rights to the book or what?
I think you have to, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They made friends with Roald Dahl's ex-wife. Like she's still alive. So she was very happy with the movie. She was ecstatic. You could tell.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep discount.
All right. Book corner.
Book corner.
So the book is really bland compared to this film in terms of the whole wild nature of the fox, the relationship of the son, the different relationships of the characters. None of that is, and the book is fun. The book is fun, but it's about this fox and some friends trying to just outwit the three bad guys. And really, that's about the only thing that's in the book is like the characterization of the three bad guys. One's fat, one's short, and one's skinny. And
are they chicken, apples, and
I think more or less. It's more or less that.
Okay. Are they Bogus, Buns, and Bean? Same names?
Bogus, Buns, and Bean. And the rhyme is there in the book, too.
Gotcha.
So, but other than that, everything else, pretty much everything else is just the original creation of the writers here. And so
Wes
really.
Anderson.
And Noah Baumbach was his name. Yeah.
Did he co-write?
Yep.
They didn't talk about him at all in the special features.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks for him.
He's given a writer's credit on IMDb anyway.
Huh.
So writers, Roald Dahl, of course, and Wes Anderson and Noah Baumbach for the screenplay.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is just an amazing amount of creativity on the writer's part. I think, again, the book is fine, but it just has nothing of there's like 4 little foxes in the book, and they just sort of like, they've sort of compiled them into what Ash is, but there's no cousin, there's no Ash being like thought of like as not the cool athlete, none of that father son stuff.
Yeah, they added in all that, American Hollywood bullshit. Yeah,
the wild versus not being wild versus all of that stuff. None of that is in the story either. It's really just more about these animals outwitting.
Yeah, they just added in a bunch of conflict and drama to the characters that existed.
They just shoved Royal Tenenbaums into this
I think
book.
That's pretty cool.
Is what they did.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's kind of what the Royal Tenenbaums
I have no
is.
idea, not having seen that, but is there the same kind of themes?
It's father-son conflict is like the main part of the movie.
Okay.
Right, TC?
I mean, yeah.
There's a lot going on in that movie.
It's family-oriented problems with,
by the way,
dad,
Noah Baumbach
son,
wrote
mom,
the screenplay for the upcoming Barbie movie.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
What's up with that? What's up with that Winnie the Pooh movie you said?
Oh my God.
What the fuck is that?
Blood and Honey.
Why did they do that?
Because the rights just ran out, and they figured.
Well, why did they think that was going to be okay?
Dude, because it's going to make money. It was made for $15 by the looks of it, and it's going to make money.
Oh yeah,
for
so
$15.
Did you watch it?
I watched the trailer.
It looked so shitty.
Oh, but it looked just like, why would you make this? This is terrible.
Speaking of,
and no one likes Winnie the Pooh anymore, so who cares?
Well, I read Winnie the Pooh to the kids.
No, I know, but the kids don't care. They're Paw Patrol or whatever else.
No, our kids like. Well, they love. Again, part of our regular reading rotation is Winnie the Pooh.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if they stumble upon Winnie the Pooh?
No, they won't know it exists until they're older.
They'll be like looking on YouTube. Oh, Winnie the Pooh.
It'll pop up on some bullshit by accident, and then they'll hit the button when they're yeah.
So speaking of this kind of thing, this Barbie movie is insane. Like Noah Baumbach, Ryan Gosling is Ken. Margot Robbie. I'm going to say it wrong now forever.
Margot.
It is Barbie. Will Ferrell's in it. Michael Cera. I don't know.
Michael Cera's getting work. Look at that.
Yeah, good for him. I don't know what Will Ferrell is. It doesn't say. It just says, maybe Will Ferrell is Will Ferrell.
2023, huh?
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig.
Wow.
Yeah. She actually co-wrote the screenplay with Noah Baumbach.
Wow.
Anyway, so sorry.
All about Barbie.
Something that need to be made, I guess.
Why did they make this? Oh, look at fucking Gosling. Holy
with the blonde hair, right?
Holy shit.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Does he have pink hair?
Can you like
you see that first picture, John? What we're looking at?
Does he feel okay about this?
Is that like IMDb Barbie movie?
Yeah. Does he feel? Is he like? Can you imagine that set? Do you think they just laughed every day when they got there? Or are they? I want to know if they're like serious about this, or if this is like hilarious to them, right? Like
that's a good question. Yeah, I wonder what
because you got to admit they had to go to set, right? So like that's a fucking 12-hour day. So like this is his day. What? Can you imagine this? I'm sorry. I can't imagine this. I'm having a hard time trying to figure out if this is a joke or if it's real.
No, it's gonna be like a commentary on Barbie at the same time. Even though
they must have had
fucking Barbie.
So much fun on this fucking set. I'm actually interested to hear I want the BTS. I want the BTS, and I want to see if these people. Can you imagine 20 people around you, 30 people running their ass off doing all this work, and this is the movie they're making. Oh my God. I can't even imagine it.
If only it wasn't based on a, previous property, then it could be something.
I gotta say, this is something so today I witnessed the fucking Winnie the Pooh thing. I don't know what to make of that. And now we got this Barbie movie. I had no idea this stuff even existed about 2 hours ago. So this is impressive, I have to say.
They're rebooting everything.
To that. Oh yeah, looking forward to that. That's funny.
Aqua's iconic single, according to IMDb trivia here, will not be featured in the film due to the history between the band and Mattel Toy Company. The song was infamously the subject of a lawsuit. So you won't get to hear the iconic Barbie girl song.
Dude, those fucking dudes when they're in the lime or the neon green rollerblades. Did you see that one? Oh shit, you gotta look at that shit.
Is this on IMDb?
He's not serious. Yeah. Look at him, he's dying. He knows he looks like an idiot. Look at him. He's making that face like, I know, I'm doing this.
A lot of money.
Can't imagine. He's having a ball. How could you not? That's funny as hell, man. People at Venice Beach. He's rollerblading by it. They're going down there. Can you imagine you're at Venice Beach and you're just seeing this go on? You're like, is that right?
Seriously, it's all going to be about how Barbie just isn't so perfect and how she has to deal with it, and that's going to be really meaningful.
Except it's Margot Robbie.
I don't think that's going to be what it is.
No. Really? Come on.
You can't cast Margot Robbie as somebody who's imperfect. It doesn't make any freaking sense. And isn't Barbie supposed to be perfect?
Well, that's the point. She's going to struggle with it. Don't worry.
It's so hard being
Squad. It's fucking.
It's going to be real hard hitting.
Barbie.
I don't know. Who knows?
It's going to suck. And it's going to be fun.
They better be getting paid top fucking dollar for that shit. If they're in those things and doing this on purpose.
You know they are. Anyway, what else you got in the book corner here, John?
So I really don't have much for a book corner other than just say I think there's an amazing amount of creativity that put in by the writers here. I think that they didn't really even, other than the three bad guys and that there was a fox. It seems like they didn't necessarily need the property.
Wes Anderson loved it, though. He wouldn't have made it otherwise. He got the book when he was 7, I guess, and that's why.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, it worked. It built from
It worked
there,
out nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. I'm glad. So what did you think of the illustrations?
Oh, I didn't. I was reading the Kindle version, so I didn't have the illustrations there.
So Donald Chafin did the original illustrations, and a lot of the shots were based on his original
Oh,
artwork.
really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, trivia time.
Cool.
Okay, go.
So the 40-minute thing, again, watch it. I know you guys never do, but seriously, if you were to make a list of all the things I've recommended over the years, put this like near the top,
Oh, really?
Pretty close behind like the Everything Everywhere All at Once commentary and
Okay.
maybe some
All
other
right.
stuff
Well,
like
that's
that.
that is
As
pretty.
It's top tier.
Okay.
Like, what was my favorite comment? So my favorite was probably
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah. As good as that.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's top tier stuff. Like you see there's a whole, it's a bunch of different featurettes lined up in a row, and one of them is Bill Murray walking around behind the scenes of how they shot the movie, and he's just walking through the sets and being kind of a dick to everybody, but like in a fun way. Sort of.
Like his like,
In
oh,
his
shucks,
Bill Murray
way.
In his Bill Murray
yeah.
way. Yeah, he's being Bill
Yeah.
Murray
Yeah.
with all like the animators. So that was a particularly fun one, but there was a lot of trivia. They did these really cool shots where like they were filming the people making the shot, and they were like, that camera was filming, it was like kind of panning down the set, and it was filming at the same frame rate as the movie. So like you would see, I guess it was a little bit more, but you would see the guy like moving around and moving the characters. I'm not gonna be able to explain this. It basically shows, fuck, I don't think I can explain this. It shows them animating it and how long it takes to do it and how much movement there is for the human doing it.
Right.
And yeah, it's just, couldn't recommend it highly enough. But trivia. Wes went to Roald Dahl's house. A lot of the sets in the movie, like the Mr. Fox's office and things like that, were just ripped off directly from Roald Dahl's office, which is
No way.
it's still there. You can go and see it. I guess
cool.
It's like a thing you can
Like
visit.
a museum of sorts.
Yeah. So that was all, some of the exact things, like the number of pencils they counted in his cup next to his desk. They took that number and the colors and they replicated it for this movie. Like that level of detail went into
Nice.
a lot of these things. And
Wow.
something they kept mentioning too is just like, Wes was like, this stop motion movie is so much harder than other movies, because in movies, it's like you control the actors, you control some of the background, you try to control the camera, but like a lot of stuff happens out of your control. In these movies, you can control literally everything. And if you don't control it, nothing happens there. So just like, and he's a really creative dude. So all these little things were made. Like they had so many artists working on this movie. They had 29 units is what he said. So like usually in a movie you have, first unit, it's the director,
Right.
and second unit who does like pickup shots. That's 2 units sometimes if you have a big enough budget. Usually for him, it's just 1, because he's one of those guys that, wouldn't
Prefers
give
that.
any of his stuff away to somebody else.
Yeah. Right.
But he was doing 29 units, which basically means they had 29 sets going at once. They had way more sets than that in total, but like 29
Holy
sets
shit.
going at once with one animator working on them, and a bunch of people
Mhm.
working underneath those animators to make like the, set.
So that was the
pieces,
only way to get it done within what?
Yep.
A certain amount of time.
Yep.
Right.
Because it took
Jesus.
them forever to do everything in this
Right.
movie.
So they're like, okay, so we can't wait to do everything linearly. We have to organize it so that we just have like 4 weeks of round the clock work from 29 units.
And I have
That's
some
fucking
numbers here to
crazy.
let you know
what was
how
the budget here for this?
$40
That's
million
nuts.
dollars.
Wow.
Okay.
Big.
Was this the most expensive stop motion film ever made?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
So the original director of this movie, or the original head animator
What?
of this movie, Henry Selick, I can tell you say his name, dropped out towards the beginning to make Coraline, because apparently he
Wow.
he directed that. So
Fucking
he-
amazing.
Yeah, that movie is
And
awesome
that
too.
That one's awesome. Yeah.
Also stop motion, but he helped
Yeah.
out Wes Anderson the whole time with this
Oh,
movie
wow.
because he
Cool.
felt like some investment in it.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Okay.
Because that's just how they roll.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
they're
Yeah.
in
I mean, he's like,
Hollywood.
look,
I mean, the
this
stop
is
motion crew
They're
is
giving
small.
me this. To,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who else is going to help? Nobody.
Nobody.
All
This is
right.
it.
Yeah, right. You sure you can't come by for 2 hours after your shoot? All right. I'll be there.
Wow. Well, I guess it's
Really?
tied with number 10. Okay, so number 10, it has here The Corpse Bride, which is 40 million. This movie is also 40
Okay.
million, so that'd be tied. It's not on this list. So this list is wrong. Chicken
Nice.
Run.
Good pick.
Chicken Run, 45 million, made in 2000. Isle
Wow.
of Dogs, Wes Anderson, $50 million.
Jeez,
Number 7,
crushing it.
Pirates, Band of Misfits.
Right, I've seen that the Aardman film. It's like the Wallace and Gromit guy.
55 million. Same people who did Chicken Run.
Yeah,
it's pretty huge. 6, Kubo and the Two Strings. Same guys who did Coraline.
That one's pretty. That one's good.
Yes.
Too.
Number 5, the Box Trolls. Also the guys who did Coraline. Leica, I think that's how you say it. 4, Paranorman. Also Leica, I believe.
Yeah, that same studio.
Yeah. Number 3, Coraline, $60 million. Number 2, The Little Prince, $77.5 million. And The Missing Link, $102 million. Wow.
Ooh, holy cow.
That's I
saw that one. It was okay.
I didn't see it because it was only supposed to be okay.
That's a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
That was another Aardman one, wasn't it?
The film only made $26 million, resulting in a loss of $103 million.
Oh, that's a rough go.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Someone lost
is that
their
going to end them?
there.
That's Leica. That's the same company as Coraline. So that
is it going to end them? That would suck.
Could have. That's the most recent one.
Jesus.
So Mr. Fox is number 10, tied with.
Well, I'm just thinking,
Corpse Bride.
he's saying how many like directors. I mean, I'm just thinking the crew, like the freaking expense. But maybe that's not your big expenses. I don't know. But man, if you got that many different crews working on the film, you'd think your expenses would be like pretty astronomical.
You'd think so. These movies
I
never
guess
make that much money.
Maybe Wes just has all his buddies do it, so he doesn't pay them very much.
No, he has like the best artists in the world. Like he didn't.
Right, but he doesn't necessarily have to like command or have to pay them like the big bucks just to get them come over and do it, like to say, I don't know, make a Barbie film.
True, because they're not expecting big money. It's like, what's Roald Dahl money? That doesn't exist.
Right. This is just for like a pro bono.
Yeah, this is good. I want to.
This will be good for your resume.
We're gonna have a good.
The movie will be great.
We're doing this
we'll
for
have a good
fun.
Time.
Right. We're doing this because we want to do
good.
it. Yeah, that's it.
You know. So yeah.
You get
to
animate
at this point,
George
if you're
Clooney
getting
as a
into
fox.
film and you're becoming a filmmaker and you don't want to do it just to do it, you're fucked.
Yeah,
because like everybody's a filmmaker, right? So
that's just what you. That's only true for you, TC, living in the belly of the beast over there.
No, I'm just saying, like it's, you just do these things just to do it. So I like when I hear that these people that get paid to do it are also just doing it to do it, right? And they'll find the money, they scrape it together, and it works, and it's like a cool project.
And that's one of the things Bill Murray pointed out. Like he went, I think it was a few weeks before the end of all production, and that was like 2 years into these animators working on this stuff. And he like at the very end of the interview, he like turns to the camera, he's like, these people have been doing the same thing, this tedious task for over 2 years, and every single one of them is like excited about what they're doing, which blew his mind.
Well, because every day it gets a little bit cooler than before, right?
Or
it's
worse,
awesome.
Well, like they spend their days like leaning over a table, moving.
Yeah, but
figurines.
These people love that shit, or they wouldn't do it. So every day it gets bigger and better, and it's awesome.
It's crazy, and they're so good at it too.
It's awesome. I mean, it's like, it's hard to find those people that'll do that.
Yeah, they had 120 unique sets. Sometimes Wes Anderson would take 24 hours placing props in a shot. He would help with the prop placing.
Seems right.
Yeah,
he's a perfectionist. It would seem.
That scene with the bottles, the cider, there's a shot, like they talked about how that scene was really hard because they had all the light was coming from the bottles and it was all refracted light through actual liquid. And there was a couple camera moves where the camera would pan up like a normal movie, but it's stop motion. So they would have to redo the lights behind in every single shot. So they all like illuminated. Yeah. Because if you moved it up a little bit, then like, that bottle is no longer shining a light through it. So we have to redo all the lights.
Oh my God!
To make sure every single shot it's just like, as the camera moves
trying
out.
to make the continuity each time they do a next frame.
Insane.
Oh boy.
I'd be like, let's just not move the camera, guys. We're not moving the camera. That's way too much fucking work.
Like, let's just do a static shot. We'll just let that shot sink in there. A lot of gravity.
You know what?
There.
It was more like, okay, he started 1, 2, 3, 4, worked fine, and then as soon as they hit 5, it was like fuck.
That one, look at that bottle
and
over there.
And you were already mid move.
Yeah,
so what are you gonna do? You can't stop, right? Yeah. Those are the fun things about filmmaking, I think.
But in this case with the stop motion, I think it's kind of hard to comprehend the amount of meticulousness that has to go into it. The amount of like careful thinking
and like long-term thinking, not just right today, 5 minutes from now. It's like, how are we going to make this work for the next 8 shots?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He talked about that too, where like in a regular movie, you could kind of wing things the day of.
Well,
and
you
this
could
one,
tell
Not this one.
your
All
actor to walk
pre-production.
Yeah.
from one
All
side of the room to
pre-production.
the other, and it would just happen.
Mhm.
You know, you wouldn't
Yeah.
have to like do everything in between.
and this one, it wouldn't just be like one person doing one thing either. Like there was apparently a shit ton of meetings, the entire production, because there was whole teams of people, 29 different units that had to get like direction, you know?
Wow.
And I don't know if you can. So, like, since there were 29 different animators, if you have a really good eye for this, notice different animation styles for the different scenes that those people
Probably,
have.
but
Yeah, I
the
would
scenes,
imagine.
in some ways, you can see how that works nicely. Like, okay, this group's doing the whack bat scene. You know, this group's doing the tree renovation scene. That's easy. That works probably fine because there's not like continuity there that you worry about. But yeah, otherwise, if there's like
and you know
one
they
scene
set up
moving
some
to the next-
standards for each, you know,
Probably,
animator
yeah,
And you're
right.
to
restricted by
follow and-
the puppets too, because they're all
Right.
working with the same puppets and they all have the same skeleton. So there's like limitations on
Right. So
the
once they
movements and
set the
stuff.
standards, they got those things set. It's reasonably close to like, you know, where our eyes probably don't notice the difference. And shit, once you get about halfway through, then it's everybody's cruising. They know exactly what they got to do. It's all looking nice. They're, you know, I'm sure they've got, you know, iterations that they went through. So there was, you know, parts and times where they all had to link up and collaborate and make sure it all worked. And, you know, that's why it's fucking $40 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You know, this ain't happening with Tom, Dick, and Harry in a fucking room.
Nope.
So,
Yeah, that was the thing the animators kept saying was like, we wanted it to make it look realistic, but we also, you know, we're doing it in the best way possible where we have like the best animators in the world and like the best techniques and all this stuff. So it's
and
like,
the you know, technology, right?
yeah. But even things like the smoke they showed in the acorn scene where they're burning the town with the smoke going up, they just like, if you see how they did the smoke going up, they had this little like, almost like a window shade roller at the top that would like roll the smoke up. So they were just like
That's
twisting
cool.
the smoke up and then like adding more and pulling it from like a thing behind the fire. So it would just like,
It's cool.
it would just roll. So every shot they
Yeah.
would like roll it up a little bit and it would just like all move up this
Right.
thing
That's
floating
really
in the air.
cool.
And then for the fire, it was just carved soap. So they would carve soap into little spikes and they would just move the pieces around. You know, the fire would like crackle and do all this random shit.
Oh, that's fucking crazy.
And whenever they broke it, they were like, it didn't matter. Just carve more soap. We got plenty of soap. That's easy.
Very cool.
The fire hoses was just saran wrap, blue saran wrap. They would twist, like shred into little things and then twist. Cotton balls, obviously, with the smoke. That was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Lots of really
And I
practical,
mean,
cheap stuff.
you could be watching it and not even think twice about it. If that's how like enveloped you get with the story.
Yeah.
So,
The world is so solid somehow.
Yeah. They really hit you with both sides on this one. The
Yeah.
story and the visuals are,
Oh yeah.
and,
And the
sound
sounds and the
it's great.
acting, the drama and the comedy.
Everything's so well thought through.
The
That's what
character
is obvious.
expressions are just awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Westwood, when they were trying to figure out how to animate the characters, Wes Anderson himself would videotape himself doing the motions, and they showed him do like a bunch of it, like the click, the snap, like the Mr. Fox noise. He did that. He did the opossum like little chop thing to know, like say that he acknowledged stuff. He would send a lot of that stuff, so they would base the animations on Wes Anderson's like acting, kind of.
Oh wow, that's funny.
I don't know how he had so many ideas for this. Like he was brimming the entire time.
It's insane. Yeah, it is really insane. Like, I don't know. It's crazy to think.
It's amazing
that's
it's amazing.
That's
yeah.
what was, again, like going back to the book corner pit. That's what's such an amazing thing to see how much creativity came out of just the basic story and where they went with it.
Yeah.
And he seems like everyone likes him. And just watching him work behind the scenes, he seems like an awesome guy. He's not an ass about it. He'll get like multiple takes, no problem. Yeah, he never makes the actors mad.
Nice.
And he gets what he wants, you know? Like that seems rare because like people, you know, most directors resort to being a complete asshole to get what they want. Right? There's like a track
He seems
record
like he's
of that.
friends with that group of actors though. Like it seems more than just
But it happens not just with the
director,
actors though.
actor.
These new animators he worked with, they love him too.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
just
yeah. So
because
he's a really
friends.
likable guy,
Yeah.
just in general.
He's a very
Got it.
friendly dude. Everything had a skeleton. They called it an armature, and they had a bunch of different sizes of puppets for the different shots, I guess, like the different lengths of the shots. For the very long or the very wide shots, they had these puppets that were maybe like the size of army men, the little tiny ones, and they could still bend and run and all that stuff. The scene where Mr. Fox is way in the background next to his tree house, and he's very small, or it's not his house actually, it's just a tree. Tiny Mr. Fox, the whack bat scene where everyone's running around, tiny little thing. So like all the sets were kind of the same size as each other because they were all in a studio, but the wide shots were just like they used scale tricks to make the background look bigger, to make the shot look wider, sort of thing. And then for the close-up shots of the faces, they had these way bigger puppets. They had lots of perspective tricks there. They put the hair, fur, and beards into the puppets one at a time.
Oh boy. God.
That's fucking insane.
That's just so much work.
Yeah. They used real hair for all the animals, but it was all repurposed to be not cruel. They had, it was mostly goats, rabbits, and kangaroo hair for the animals. And then for the humans, real human hair taken from people working on the movie.
Oh my God.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wes loves the movie King Kong. That was like his favorite movie growing up, or one of them. And he loved it how in the stop motion animation, how like in between frames, his fur would like unnaturally move, sort of, you know, like where it wouldn't just like, it wasn't smooth. You could tell there was something weird going on with the animation. And he wanted that. So he had the animators blow on the, if there was a small move, they would blow on the characters in between takes just to add a little bit of like flavor there.
Sort of almost like distortion to the fur or something.
And you can notice it, right? Like even if someone's still, there's like a little bit of movement going on with their hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was intentional. One of the reasons to watch the special features is that they showed the skull, the armature skull of Mr. Fox, and all the different ways you could move it was fucking impressive. Like there was cheeks, there was lips, there were like teeth, they had eyebrows. This was just the skull. And then they put the thing on top of it and they showed how you could just like mold his face into different expressions really easily. It was pretty damn awesome. Whoever built those things is very good at that.
Like, yeah.
Shooting stop motion is hard. You have to glue everything to the ground. You have to record where every single thing is all the time. You have to try to finish your shot within a day. Because if you don't finish your shot in a day, if you happen to have a long shot, then you need to like lock the studio, completely lock down the studio. You need to record where everything is. And you need to hope that the weather isn't fucked up. Because things like hot weather or rain or the atmospheric pressure, things like that, fuck with the sets. Noticeable enough where like you notice it in the shots. And they said like they tried to, if someone finished a shot like halfway through a day and had a day-long shot coming up, they wouldn't start the shot. They'd wait for the next day just to try to get it all done within a day. They had tricks to try to like prevent a lot of that stuff. If you counteracted the elements, I guess, like they just talked about how it was an issue and they just kind of resigned themselves to it to some degree at the beginning because they knew it was going to be an issue and there's literally nothing you can do about it. So they're like, if it happens, we're going to just roll with it. And if it looks weird, it's stop motion. Like it's going to be fine.
It'll let it go. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing that they did. Like you said, that they're like purposefully like allowing the fur to be all messy and stuff. They're like not trying to make it perfect. They're like letting it be rough in a way, even though they're doing so many amazing perfectionistic things. I don't know how they do this amazing balance, but they're like, you know, it's this idea of like, yeah, it's okay. It's a little sloppy, even though we're just being so insanely meticulous at the same time.
Yeah, but also at the same time, it's not okay, which is why we need the exactly full day to do this.
Right.
Well, everybody go home now, and tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., you better be fucking ready to go.
Yeah, right.
John's staying all night. He's going to make sure nobody touches anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine. I'm stressful just imagining what their day was like.
I mean, I said that, but they did have some issues. They had to fix it. Like, there were issues they had to fix. Like some of the smaller cider bottles, when the atmospheric pressure would change, the amount of liquid perceived in the bottles would noticeably change. So they thought they thought the liquid was evaporating in the first place. So they would like be emptying and refilling up the bottles over the course of days until they finally figured out it was just like the atmospheric pressure. So that they fixed because that apparently was noticeable. You can't have like one shot where like the level of the bottles are like going up and down. That would be
down, right? That'd be obvious. Yeah, it'd be really bad. Yeah. Damn. I mean, that's really good information. I never would have even expected there was that. I mean, the details on this one was something else.
Something else. Yeah. Takes 1 to 2 weeks per shot.
Fuck. Wow. Can you imagine they had like nothing to look at for like a year? Right? I mean, like how many months? How long? Well, no, if they were doing concurrently, 29 week and a half.
Does that fly in the face of the trivia I just gave you?
So do you think? So do you think like that would be like 29 shots, right, in 2 weeks? I mean, you could maybe get a little edit out of that, but you're not getting much out of 29 shots, right? Like, how long was it taking a scene? It must have been like 6 months a scene.
Yeah. Okay, I have more trivia here. Let's put these numbers together as we go through.
Right?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And
so
that
it says
assumes
here,
that they're doing it in order.
18 seconds of footage. So the top animator here says 18 seconds of footage took her 9 days.
Okay, wow. So that could mean a few things. Like that could 18 seconds. I mean, that's a scene, right?
Yeah.
So it's so 9. All right, so not as bad as we were thinking. But either way, like you're not like what happens when you get into the edit of it at all, right? And like it doesn't like you got the stop motion thing going, but then some of it doesn't really make sense or something, right? Or they wouldn't have got there because they did all this.
Right, they had the
work.
edit sort of.
They knew they already had the whole idea of what it had to be
snapped into
first.
place.
Right, I see. But even then, like once you start watching stuff back, shit changes.
Yeah.
So like,
not unless you control everything, though, right? They're controlling everything.
Yeah, and true. You said they made animations that matched.
Yeah. Shot for shot, they matched. Yeah, they're like, you need to get.
So they almost edited it like a podcast first.
Yeah. Well, the reason they did it like shot for shot is because there were scenes like someone sitting down, and that's a lot of effort. Right. Like you wouldn't waste time animating it on a normal stop motion movie because you know it's a lot of work. But in this movie, he's like, we're doing it. This is a realistic movie. You know, we have to give him a sheet to like say, yes, you are going to make him sit down. It's going to take you a week to do it, but do it. Here you go.
Oh my God.
That's pretty cool, man.
Just dealing with that, like,
I'm telling you, the production side of it, that would be so frustrating. I don't know how to do. I mean, Jesus Christ, when people get off task or they would do something stupid. I mean, can't even imagine.
535 puppets were made total. So that doesn't include like duplicates of puppets. That's just like individually designed puppets. 535. They had to rebuild some of them if they broke or got dirty or whatever. But Mr. Fox had 102 puppets himself with 17 different styles. So that's like 17 styles plus like 102 is like different scales of those 17 styles. That's a lot of puppets.
Yeah.
There's only one instance of CG, and it was during the flood scene. Everything else you're seeing is real and in camera. And the last piece of trivia is...
I'll give him that one. That is perfectly fine. I mean, that seemed like a ton of shit.
Yeah.
And this movie is higher resolution than any movie ever. It's higher resolution than 8K.
No way.
Because they filmed it with photo cameras, like a snap camera.
Oh, so analog, kind of.
Is it analog?
No, they're still digital.
Yeah, but it's not a film camera. It's not like opening and shutting the shutter, which like limits the resolution, I guess. Because like you need to combine high resolution with like picking it up quickly. But if you're picking up with just like a telescope is more accurate because it can like do a shutter speed. It can like absorb more light. But
you're not doing video camera.
Right.
You're
just
doing,
a picture camera.
Right. I get it.
And it was a Nikon D3 was the name of the camera. And it's higher resolution than any digital movie that's ever been.
Wow.
That is so crazy.
And they haven't put this out on 4K yet. We only have this on Blu-ray. But I swear it's like one of the best looking things that we have.
It looks great. 100%. Yeah.
And that's it.
It's just such a good movie. I mean, I can't say it good enough. Like I said,
Recommend it to everyone. Upvote it to 10. Come on. This could easily be on the top 250.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, come on.
Seriously.
Get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Cool.
So, but top 250? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Strong, yes.
Guys,
what do we got?
I can't remember, guys. I can't remember.
Oh, good. It's been so long.
I can't remember. Who killed my wife? Did you kill my wife?
Did I kill my wife?
We're watching Memento.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
That's right.
Yeah, topical. See, I was trying to do something there.
There we go.
See what you did there.
Good job. I thought you actually couldn't remember.
Christopher Nolan.
All right.
Right. And his brother wrote the script, I think.
You got Guy Pearce.
Nolan.
You got Trinity herself in there.
That's right.
Motherfucker.
We're not doing synopsises anymore. But hey, if you liked it, if you're listening right now, why don't you tell your friends about us? We don't go on social media, so we have no other means of getting around.
That's right.
If you have friends who like movies and you like listening to us, just be like, hey, I know a couple of idiots that talk about movies, and it's sometimes you learn stuff, you know? You might want to listen
to
it.
That's right. Sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes you are, more dumb than you came
Sometimes you're smarter than us frequently, but sometimes we're smarter
you're dumber
than you.
than you left. Right. Yeah. You might be dumber than you left.
A good rating on wherever you listen to your podcasts. You know, if you made it this far.
And don't judge us for begging. you guys to talk to your
begging.
friends.
Just like a little like to keep growing our audience.
That's right.
That's all.
Yeah,
that's right.
We like doing
That's
this.
right.
Yeah.
And if you don't like us, then there's no way to tell us. So fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
The hell have you listened?
Doesn't matter anyway.
That's a good point.
So,
you're waking up from a long sleep, and this is the last thing. Yeah, this is the thing.
Yeah,
you
right. You're
woke up
waking
to.
up, and then some asshole says, "Fuck you," and then that's the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that happened to at least
All
one
right.
person. All right. So
All right,
Memento
guys.
next week, guys. Talk to you then.
Memento.
All right, sounds good.
Stop 'em.